It permits people convicted of sex crimes against children to be surgically castrated. The state has allowed chemical castration for more than 16 years, but if the governor signs this new bill into law, Louisiana will be the first state in the nation to allow the surgical castration of sex offenders. It is not only drastic, it is irreversible. It would permit judges to order both men and women to undergo the far more invasive procedure after they finished serving their prison sentence for sex crimes against children under 13. If the prisoner refuses to be castrated, he or she would then be forced to serve an additional 3 to 5 years behind bars. The bill received overwhelming approval in both the GOP-dominated chambers of the state legislature, but it was co-written by 2 Democratic lawmakers. And joining us now is one of them, Louisiana State Representative Delisha Boyd, who sponsored the House measure. Great to have you, Representative. Really appreciate it. Chemical castration is already legal in Louisiana. Why do you need surgical castration?
Well, chemical castration has been legal for nearly 20 years. As I was doing my research on this particular bill, it's only been used once, that maybe because people don't really know about it. I'm sure the judges know it's on the book, but no one ever really uses it. And we're in a state right now where I also ran a bill to create exceptions for rape and incest for children under 16, and that bill died in committee. And as I was doing my research, I came upon a story in Baton Rouge with a man who had an arrest warrant out for raping a 12-year-old. As you read the article, in 2007, he was arrested and served time for the aggravated rape of a 5-year-old. I don't know if you have a child or nieces or cousins. If you could imagine that baby at 5 years old with an adult male pushing himself into her. And because it was aggravated rape, that most likely means he beat her or some other things that were done to her. You know, I think that this man, had something been done with him in 2007, the rape of this child who is now 12, and they have subsequently arrested that gentleman. But God forbid she turns up pregnant.
But so why do you need this bill if you've only used chemical castration once in 20 years? Why do you need to take it a step further to surgical castration?
Our goal with this is to make sure that it gets out that this is now an option for the judges. I think for me, I want something to be more of a deterrent to some men, maybe not all, but if it stops one man, if he knows, and we've been getting a lot of coverage on the idea of surgical castration. We want to push this out in the media, in communities where men know if you rape a child, a defenseless child, you still her innocence, because that 5-year-old will never be the same. There's nothing that could be done that'll make that child whole again, or the 12-year-old for that matter. So that's our hope here. I don't think what I have found out is that not many people knew about the chemical castration bill.
So why not just remind them about the chemical castration? I'm unclear as to why you've taken it a step further, and if you really expect this will actually be used.
I want the most severe punishment for any man or woman that rapes a child, that steals the innocent from that child. I don't know why, people are using this as cruel and unusual punishment. What was cruel and unusual punishment was what happened to that baby. That's cruel and unusual. To have a grown man, most likely someone she knows, to violate her body, beat her at 5, that's cruel and unusual punishment, not this.
The measure, as you just noted, applies to both men and women. Women would have their ovaries removed, but statistics show that women hardly ever commit sex crimes against children. Why include them in this?
Well, we didn't want to make it gender specific. For those few women who might or would create or commit a rape, it should apply to them as well.
One of the reasons that this has been controversial is because Louisiana, the state of Louisiana, has one of the highest wrongful conviction rates in the country. What if somebody is wrongly convicted, surgically castrated, it's irreversible, and you've taken that away from them?
Well, this punishment is not to be enforced until the sentence is over. By that time, appeal processes would have been through. Keep in mind that here in Louisiana, rape, first-degree rape is a lifetime sentence. Nothing is a possibility until the sentence is over.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.